We put on bell-bottom trousers and peasant shirts and take our kids out to the Renaissance Fair. So we had a friend who was a potter. He was a real hippie, and the kids would throw pots with him, and we would cheer it on and all that. And then on Sunday night, we would go back and put that away for the next week, and I'd put on my narrow tie and a button-down shirt to go to work the next day. So having the grounding that I did was very helpful to give me a kind of perspective about what we were going through. And, you know, you can't in a uniform way condemn the 60s. But what you have to do is have a kind of what I call a critical focus on the 60s. Look at what's worth keeping, and then look at what we should be discarding. We're still arguing about the 60s in a way that's kind of counterproductive.
Well, one of your main arguments in the book is that the 1960s gave rise to a new, more polarizing, more bitter politics. We're in an institute of politics. Are we still grappling with these decisions made by politicians and their surrogates 40 years ago?
One of the things that the 60s did was demonstrate to people, the phrase that came out of the feminist movement actually was the personal important. So if it's personally important to you, you can organize it politically. And the women's movement was an example of that. Civil rights movement before that, the civil rights movement transcended just race. So then every organization or every interest learned how to organize politically. And as a result, I'm sure Senator Dole would agree with this, every senator of his generation I've ever talked to. As a result, senators no longer have a chance, for example, to be reflective during the day and to get together at the end of the day or to, you know, spend 2 or 3 days worrying about foreign policy problems, because they were just bombarded all day long in their offices by the NRA, by the wheat growers of Montana, by the National Association, the NEA, the National Education Association, the Teachers Union, and they all had very specific interests that was only important to them, and they didn't have a broader view. So we got divided up. And then what happened as well is in 1968, American politics went crashing off in 2 different directions. The FDR coalition that had governed this country since 1932 had always had a relationship